What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Financially Fluent Show. If this is your first time watching, I upload multiple videos a week where I define and go over different personal finance terms. So subscribe to expand your knowledge on investing, banking, taxes, and more. Do you know what stocks are? Because that's what I'm talking about in today's episode. Let's become financially fluent. Before we start, I just want to point out that all of the words in red are future videos, which will be linked in the description once they're posted. With that said, let's get on with the video. Don't know what a stock is? Let's start out with the boring definition, which is a type of security that signifies proportionate ownership in the issuing corporation. Breaking down that definition, this just means something that shows that you have ownership in a company. To make some common confusion clear, there are actually two ways the word stock can be used. This definition aligns with the use of the word stock that is actually synonymous with the word share. Now, I'll make a video in the future, but all you need to know right now is that a share is just a fraction of a company that can be purchased. The other use of the word stock refers to all of the shares combined, which make up the company. To clarify the difference between these two definitions, here are some examples. You might hear someone say that they bought a stock of a company. In this case, stock means share, as the person actually bought a share of the company, not the stock as a whole. This aligns with our first definition that we went over. If you hear someone say that a certain stock crashed today, they're referring to the stock as a whole, or all of its shares. This is the second definition that we went over. In today's video, we're going to be mostly talking about the first definition, where a stock means a share. Let's go over an example of how a stock works. Let's say your company has 100 shares. If you own one share, you're a shareholder. This means that you own 1% of the company's assets and earnings, but not 1% of the entire company as a whole. Basically, what all this means is that since you own a certain percentage of the company, you get certain benefits, but that doesn't mean that you're an official owner of the company who can walk into the headquarters and start bossing everyone around. So what are the benefits then, right? Why own a stock if you don't have complete control over the company? Well, the main reason is that you can make money. And this comes in the form of dividends, share buybacks, and stock appreciation. Dividends pay you in the form of cash, which can be kept like a paycheck or reinvested so that you can own more of the company. Share buybacks are when the company buys back its shares from the shareholders. This means that each share is now a larger percentage of the public shares, and so it's worth more. Also, share buybacks often raise the price of a stock, as they show that the company is healthy. By the way, not every stock pays a dividend or does share buybacks, so keep that in mind when deciding which stocks to buy. Lastly, share appreciation, or share growth, simply just makes the value of your shares go up. Besides making money, the other benefit to owning stock is statutory voting rights. These rights state that any shareholder who owns common stock has the right to vote on who's on the board of directors of the company. Now, this might not interest you, but some people like to have the peace of mind that they have a little bit of control over who runs the company. Now, like I said, only common stock shareholders can vote, and that's because there's actually two types of stocks: common stocks and preferred stocks. Of course, I'll have a video in the future comparing the two, but for right now, I'll just say that preferred stocks don't have statutory voting rights and don't see as much stock price appreciation, but they do have a guaranteed dividend, whereas with a common stock, the dividend can be cut or discontinued. Since you now know why you would want to buy a stock, let's go over why you wouldn't want to buy a stock. First off, stocks can decline in value, which is called depreciation. For example, if you bought a stock when the price was $10 and then the price depreciated down to $5 and you sold your share, you would have lost $5 or half of your investment. The other reason is dividend cuts, which is when your dividend is discontinued because the company can no longer afford to pay it out. Now, this is bad because you might have bought the stock just for its dividends. If that dividend is cut, you're no longer making the money that you used to. It's almost like having a job and receiving its income, but then all of a sudden you get fired. I'll make sure to go into more detail about why dividends are cut in my video on dividends, but for right now, let's just continue with stocks. The final topic of this video are the two ways you can trade stocks. The first way is buying the stock, which is called taking a long position. In this case, you want the price to go up. This is pretty self-explanatory. Once you buy the stock, you own it, and you want the price to go up so that you can sell it for a higher price. And then the other way is short selling, which is much more complicated. When you short a stock, you actually make money when the company's share price decreases. And if you want to know how that works, just go to my video on short selling, where I'll have an in-depth explanation. Also keep in mind that short and long have nothing to do with time. You can hold a short or long position for as long as you want, so don't get it confused. And that's pretty much it for this video. There are so many more aspects of stocks that I could talk about, but just for simplicity's sake, we're going to save those for future videos. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, and if you have any future terms you want me to define, drop them in the comments below. Also, if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe so that you can learn more financial vocab. That's everything. Hope to see you in the future on our journey of becoming financially fluent. Thanks for watching. When it comes to these two terms, when it comes to these